What is up, guys? Today I am going to be telling a story. This story is the first time I did anything, or my first time being arrested. Let's do that. So, first time I was arrested, it was for something really stupid. I ran away from home. And this was the first time, or the second time, that I was trying to live with my mom after I was taken away from her. And my grandparents that day had gotten me a new phone, and I was 14 whenever I did this. So all my emotions were all over the place. I was a teenage girl pretty much, okay? It sucked, okay? And it was the weekend. It was a Friday, and my little brother, he comes up to me, and he just smacks me right in the nuts, okay? He, like, nut-checked me with Thor's hammer, it felt like. And I bend over, my face is blood red, and I'm like, Urgh! And you know, this word, okay? This word slips out of me. I scream, fuck. I just scream fuck as loud as I can, okay? I had never been hit in the balls that hard, okay? He just wailed it. He went Thor on it, okay? He was the Greek god for my nutsack. He just demolished it, okay? And as I'm laying on the ground, like I said, I yell fuck. And my mom, she runs out of the room and she's like, "What did you just say, Justin Blake?" And I'm like, I'm sorry, it hurts. And she was like, "You know what? No, you're in trouble." And I was like, "What?" So I said, "You know what? I'll just go to my grandparents." Because, you know, I was pissed off. You know, there was all this pain, and she said that I'm in trouble. It was an accident and everything. And she was like, "No, you're not." And I'm like, "I'm calling them right now." So she took the phone, and mind you, she didn't pay for it, but, you know, she is my mom, so she had every right to take it. And she takes it from me, and I'm like, "You know what, screw you." And she's like, "Excuse me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you heard me, you're a worst mom ever." You know, really emotional at this time, and I really feel like a dick about it now that I'm looking back on it, because she was only trying to be there for me and trying to raise me right. So I just run out of the house. I straight up just run. I don't stop running. I run about a mile, and then I get into a field. And, you know, I already knew that she was going to call the cops on me, because I knew what I was doing was technically illegal. So I'm out in some side fields where there's no roads. Well, that sounded weird. And she calls the cops on me. And I don't see any cop cars, and as I'm running through this field, I'm thinking, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? I can't go to my grandparents because she'll tell them not to take me in. She'll make up some kind of lie. I thought that she would lie at that point. I was just out of it, okay? I was not the nicest kid. So I'm wearing a pair of, I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of this brand. You've all heard of Rue 21, but Rue 21 has a brand, or a sub-brand named Black. I was wearing a pair of black pants, the brand Black. I was wearing a pair of DCs. They were the white DCs. I don't remember exactly what they looked like. And I was wearing a pair of, let's see, how do I say this? A pair or a shirt. The shirt I was wearing was a button-up long sleeve shirt. So yeah, as I was saying, I was wearing a long sleeve shirt, and it was the middle of summer, so I was uncomfortable while I was running, but I did not stop. I just kept going, and I started crawling under fences, and I was also trespassing, so I could have gotten in trouble for that. And, you know, I run towards a field, and there's a school there, and I'm like, you know what, maybe I should just call home. So I run up to that school, and I see a gas station down the road, and I'm like, they probably have a phone. So I'm going to the gas station, and my dad was at work at this time, my stepdad. Whenever I get to the gas station, I say, hey man, look, can I call home and get a ride? I didn't tell him what was going on. I was just like, can I get a ride, or can I use your phone to get a ride? He hands me the phone and he says, please don't make a long distance call. And I was like, okay, I won't, don't worry. And I called my mom, or first I called my grandparents, and I was like, can you guys please come get me? And they were like, we know that you ran away, you need to go home. And I'm like, my home is with you guys. And they said, no, you made the decision to go try to live with your mom, now you need to stick it out. So I said, okay. And I said, can you call my mom and have her meet me at the gas station? I was at the gas station by the new Walgreens and by the Boys and Girls Club. And they said, okay, we can do that. We'll do that for you. And I said, thank you. So whenever my mom gets there, my stepdad's in the truck, and I'm like, oh my God, he's going to be so mad at me. He's not going to like me anymore. I'm the worst stepson ever. And I get in the car, and he's sitting there sideways, you know, in his chair, looking at his phone, and he's like, you scared me. And I said, I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being the worst son ever. And he said, shut up. First off, you're not the worst son ever. Second off, you're still my son. And at this point, I started to tear up a little bit. My mom says, why the hell did you go? And I was like, Mom, I got mad, I'm sorry. And she was like, well, I put a bolo out, or I put in whatever you want to call it, that thing out on you. And I was like, so what, am I going to JDC now? And my stepdad chimes in and he's like, yeah, most likely. Don't worry. We'll come and visit you every day. We will pull you out, or we'll visit with you, and you're most likely going to talk to the judge so-and-so. And I mean, that judge was the one that did custody court with me and everything whenever all the problems happened whenever I was a little kid. So I was like, no, please, you can't do this. And so he said, yes, I can, and this is happening. And I started saying, you know, I'm sorry. So we get back to our house, and they're like, you need to put on some white clothes. You need to get as much food in your stomach as you can, because you're probably not going to be fed tonight or tomorrow. And you need to get ready. So I said, you know, all right, I'm sorry, but all right, I'll do it. And they called the police, or the original cop that they talked to, the detective, and he was like, all right, he's here, so I'll be there in a little bit. And he comes over, he's in his squad car, and two cops get out. The cop that was looking for me, my stepdad had ran away one time whenever he was a kid, and it was the same exact cop that went for him. So, you know, they were like, hey, what's up? What are you doing here? And my stepdad was like, yeah, it's my son that ran away. And he's like, oh my God, is he like you? And he was like, yep. And he was like, you better get that child under control. So the cop starts bitching me out. You know, you shouldn't run away. You have a family here that loves you. Why would you run away? And the whole time I feel like ticks crawling on my ankle, and I'm like scratching it with the side of my foot. And he's like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, I'm sorry. And then he says, this is after he handcuffed me, keep in mind. He says, you know what? I'm going to trust you, and I'm going to let you go. Now you go and tell your mom that you love her. And tell your dad that you're sorry. And I'm like, I will. I swear. So he uncuffs me, and I go over, and I hug my mom the tightest that I possibly could. And, you know, she starts tearing up, and she says thank you to the cop. And my stepdad comes out, and he picks me up, and he hugs me, and he says, you can't be doing this, dude. You're too much like me. You can't go down this route. And that's really whenever I started to change. And I realized that I need to do good in life. I need to be the best possible person for me, for the people that are around me in the future, and for my family. And that's whenever I grew up, okay? So yeah, that was the first time I was ever arrested. If you guys enjoyed this story, make sure that you leave a like. And there will be more stories coming, and I am also going to do some gameplay next, okay? So be ready for that. So yeah, guys, until the next adventure in life, peace out. Actually, let's change that. It's time. If you would like to become a homie G, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you are under the age, screw it, you're all homie G's if you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the like button, and yeah, guys, peace out.